SNK. They started as arcade giants. They ended plummeting into bankruptcy, unable to adapt to the console market, among other things. Eventually, though, they came flying right back up. Sort of. SNK Playmore was a bit different from the old SNK. A lot more focus on console re-releases of old arcade titles and low-budget handheld games. It was an era not of experimentation and innovation in fighting games and shooters, but of budget sequels and dating sims, and the occasional DS RPG. Again, not to say one was better than the other, they're just very different. Big SNK was dead, and new SNK was smaller, more adaptable. What they lacked in boldness, they at least seemed to have made up for in profitability, and this didn't mean the death of franchises like KOF or Metal Slug. In fact, it bears mentioning one of KOF's most gorgeous games released in this era. Just if there's one thing you could say about Playmore era SNK, they didn't have a Bariki 2 on the mind. Eventually they'd end up throwing their bag in more with mobile games and Pachi Slot, before eventually making a momentous return back to fighting games with the King of Fighters 14, where they've been back with us ever since.
Predictable!
I hear King of Fighters 15 is pretty good. There is, though, one constant in SNK's history to mention. Athena. A mainstay across the entire KOF series, Athena's history is one that stretches back through all of SNK. Before we had Terry, Ryo, Kyo, Haomaru, the Ikari Warriors, or the Metal Slug team, we had Athena. Starting as an odd little arcade action RPG in 1986, Athena was not about Athena. And to be blunt, it's not my favorite Athena game. Try it yourself if you want. Just whatever you do, steer clear of the Famicom version. It's infamous for a reason. The modern interpretation of Athena, the Athena we actually know today, got her start in Psycho Soldier, a year later in 1987. No longer an ancient fantasy warrior, this new and improved Athena was a Psycho Soldier, a Japanese schoolgirl armed with psychic powers, fighting against vicious monsters. I also don't love this game, but it's alright. It's just kinda slow. A simple lane-based auto-scrolling shooter, its primary contribution was, of course, the change in setting and context, and the introduction of Athena's iconic theme song. Might seem sort of quaint now, but at the time, hearing full voice audio out of a video game was a big deal. They made a whole promo tape of Psycho Soldier's music you could get along with the Famicom port of Athena, which is sort of like being offered delicious gourmet cheese as long as you pay to stick your hand in this mousetrap. For the purposes of our story, we've got to flash forward 12 more years, to 1999. Here we go. Bankruptcy era SNK. Now, entertainment centers, those are all fine and dandy, just fancy arcades, everyone had them, Sega has them. But SNK, they got a bit more ambitious with how they tried to diversify their profits. But I've been talking for a while now, and I still haven't gotten to talking about Athena, so I'll cut it short and just say it involved 2 theme parks and a King of Fighters animatronic band called Band of Fighters. That was real. I'll link to a video of them in the description if you want to see them in action. SNK's fortunes had all been built on the arcade, lived and died with the arcade. No 90s fighting game boom, no SNK. Their forays into 3D and handheld game development had hit a brick wall. The Neo Geo 64 was anything but a success, and the Neo Geo Pocket just couldn't cut it against the competing, more popular Game Boy and WonderSwan. Most unfortunately, this brought the cessation of SNK's English side operations, leaving several of their games untranslated. Kodelka made it out alive, finding an English publisher in INVOCATION, and likely benefiting from its voice acting already being recorded using English stage actors.
Hey, what about him?
He's dead.
Really? Thank you.
But beloved cult Dreamcast rhythm game, The Cult Is Me, Cool Cool Tune didn't fare so well. It and its handheld sister game, Cool Cool Jam, both had their own English releases lined up, but these were swept out from under them at the last moment with this tragic turn of events. As well, if there were any remaining hopes for an English translation of SNK's ambitious multi-platform samurai showdown RPG, Shinsetsu Samurai Spirits Bushido Retsuden, this effectively left them dashed. Thankfully, with Fatal Fury Wild Ambition getting the Western release it so dearly deserved, that leaves us with only one other game. At the very tail end of this era of their life, we got Athena's third and final game, not counting 2006 phone games, Athena Awakening from the Ordinary Life. A production by one of SNK's smaller subsidiaries, Yume Kobo, Athena's final solo outing features her in a futuristic, supernatural, psychological horror adventure game, using pre-rendered environments, fixed camera angles, and taint controls. It is also my favorite Athena game. Since as far as I can tell, there are no English translations of this game available anywhere in any form, I'd like to show off the game as a whole and some of the weirder, more obscure things attached to it. So naturally, this is gonna spoil everything. So this opening is in English, but the audio mixing in this game is pretty bad, so I'll do my best to subtitle it for you.
White Wolf to Delta Base. Do you read me? This is Delta Base. We read you loud and clear. There's a powerful blizzard over Delta Base. Visibility is less than 70 feet. Easy as she goes. Roger, Delta Base. We're coming in north by northwest. Message received and noted. Landing permission granted.
Dr. Takaoki from the Far East Branch is arriving. Research and security teams assemble at the heliport ASAP.
How are things underground?
Well, due to the heat from the inner Earth, the temperature is a toasty 60 degrees centigrade.
Heat from the inner Earth? It must be really deep down.
Yes, quite deep. In fact, the oxygen density is less than 1/20th of that of Venus.
What about radiation?
Within parameters, but we have detected a high concentration of large neutrino particles.
Neutrinos down this deep? That shouldn't be.
Agreed. It goes quite against the laws of physics. There's just no explanation for it.
I see. We must go to the ancients. Perhaps they'll be able to shed some light on this. Incredible. It's astonishing to think that such a thing exists on Earth.
This discovery will completely upset our reviews of Earth and her history.
The ramifications are unimaginable. It's unprecedented. Nothing like it in our own civilization.
Turn the light on, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure nobody outside WAD knows about this discovery? Oh my.
Notice that the neutrinos are gathering in the middle of that line.
Could it be a temple of sorts?
Well, it could very well be. The whole room seems to be charged with energy.
Is it human?
Yes, it is. But whether it's male or female, I couldn't tell you without further investigation.
I see. What's this? The room feels as if it's alive.
I feel it too. You're planning to bring in another investigation team, aren't you?
Yes, and as quickly as possible. But first we've got to take care of this crater. Package it with extreme care and have it rushed over to the Far East branch.
Understood.
And with that, we hit the title screen. Kind of an odd choice not to feature Athena in the opening to her own video game, but maybe they're building somewhere. If you're wondering, this is not one of those games that hides another important opening scene if you wait on the title. It just replays that one. But damn, man, this music. It's not a song about psycho soldier Athena blasting the forces of evil, but it sets a cool tone in its own way. Gentle, ethereal, like we are stepping into a newer, more magical version of Athena's world. A more mysterious and haunting one. I guess it's about time we got started on the actual game, though. Let's go.
ベクターはどちらを使いますか？
ファージとプラスミドの両方を試してみましょう。
ゲノムクローンでよろしいですね。
ええ。
So, pardon the interruption. There is one important thing to talk about, though. All the cutscenes in the game are presented like this. That black box there is not for subtitles. I don't know why it's there. For your sake, I'll just be zooming in from here on, so you can get a full 16 by 9 view.
準備が整い次第、序客欄に移植して、双方の観察結果の際を書面にまとめてちょうだい。
わかりました。高浮所長、パークエリアでお呼びです。
何かあったの？
情緒の安定しない再生恐竜が一体あるとのことです。
わかったわ。あとはお願いね。
はい。
行きましょう。
はい。
恐竜が侵入してきたぞ。ゲビルを呼べ。
神ならぬ身で生命をもてあそべば歪みが生じるのは必然だわ。
今なんと？
オフレコよ。
はい。
最近の WAD の現状、あなたはどう思う？本業である電子工学のみならず軍需産業、 生態工学にまで手を伸ばしている。
それは躍進と呼ぶべきでは。
躍進？摂理に逆らい生態系を歪めることが？奴は私たちをただの手駒として捉えている。
やつ？
タンタロス。
あれは所長が開発したシステムではありませんか。今やこの極東支社がタンタロスの上に成り立っていると言ってもいい。
生みの親だからこそわかるということも。
何事だ。
処置前の再生恐竜が一体暴走しました。
識別コードは
ADE 式番未登録です。
タイプ E 獣脚類。通常装備では無理ね。警備部へ連絡。13式を一気手配して。
はい。
管制室より警備部第3総隊パークエリア第6区画303走行機動部の出撃を要請。繰り返し管制室より警備部第3総隊パークエリア第6区画303走行機動部の出撃を要請。
虚勢処置が済むまでは気を抜くなとあれほど言ったのに。
隔壁を下ろせ。急ぐんだ。
後で責任者を私のオフィスへ。
非常警報解除。非常警報解除。事後処理急ぐ。非常警報解除。事後処理急ぐ。非常警報解除。事後処理急ぐ。
自由が欲しかったのね、きっと。
先ほどの恐竜ですか。
何かが間違ってる。これが罪でないなら何だというの。
お疲れなのでは、所長。少し休まれた。所長が何をお考えなのかは自分には分かりません。ですが自分は所長のエグゼクティブガードです。そのことに誇りを持っています。いついかなる時も所長をお守りします。
ありがとう。
高尾清野博士、本日12時をもってあなたのアーフ所長解任および拘束命令がおりました。ご同行願います。
なんだと。どこからの命令だ。
レベル5です。意味はお分かりですね。拒否する権利は認められません。抵抗はなさらないでください。他のガードも武装解除済みです。
所長、レベル5はタンタロスの直通。
先手を打たれたというわけね。
所長、逃げてください。
並木。
Don't worry, we'll get to Athena soon. I'm just giving you the full Athena awakening from the ordinary life opening experience.
ドクター高沖の報告から8年。彼女の背任。大きな損失と言わざるを得ない。
彼女抜きでは研究は進まぬ。
我々の求める完全なる SB ユニット。
I'll have to throw in the towel on subtitling this one because the sound mixing is too bad for me to clearly hear a lot of what they're saying. But in short, they need a human body, they need a specific one, they need it now, and the only one that will work is a familiar face.
2、3の候補が挙げられてきている。中でもこの
朝宮アテナ。
彼女は何者なのか。不確定要素が多すぎる。確認の必要がある。清涼学園配属のシークレットエージェントに対し、コード C011 発令、およびスリープ中の AEX04 アストライアスを凍結解除。朝宮アテナとの第一次接触に投入を定義。承認。回答保留。
条件付き承認。
承認。
I'm pretty sure these scenes are actually the hardest ones to translate in the entire game.
もうすぐ春休みだ。各自成績資料をサーバーから落としておくように。以上。
起立。礼。
お前今日何かあんのかよ。そっか、行きたいんだけどな。
バイバイ。そんじゃね。バイバイ。あーってな。まだ帰んないの？ちょっとね。そう。じゃあね。またね。リカ。早く来ないかな。
So, of course, in stark contrast to the CG cutscenes, in-game cutscenes in Athena have no voice acting whatsoever, and not a lot of sound effects either. These scenes are 100% pure text affairs. I'll edit these down more as we go, but I've left this first one untouched so that you can get an idea of how these scenes flow. This first one, introducing Athena's friend Rika, isn't too exciting, but I like the unique camera work. You get some specific angles here that you don't get in normal gameplay. After getting caught up on the present situation, Athena stops to speak to the audience for a minute. Is this a psycho power? It's not something she ever does again, so this is just a funny little bit to me. Either way, it's finally over, and we are finally released into Athena's strange and ordinary world. For a first taste of gameplay, looks are pretty unassuming. Its basic tank controls wouldn't say they're the best or worst I've ever used. The most immediate thing one might notice is that the game has a pretty rough degree of input lag. I'm not running off original hardware here, so I can't speak for how it feels there. But on modern emulators, it's easy enough to use run-ahead to mitigate the worst of it. I'm on Duckstation, so that's what I did. You might have problems later if this isn't an option, but we'll get to that when we get there. Pop open the menu and you'll find a few options to play with. The map does, well, what you'd expect it does. It pops up a little map of the current area. Pretty useful, it highlights what room you're in, and the layout is pretty accurate. This thing's actually a godsend in some of the later areas, to be honest. ESP is, less useful. You don't ever need to open this one, it just lists what psycho powers you've unlocked, which doesn't exactly help with much, since they're all context sensitive and you unlock them in a scripted order anyway. Not much to see in here now either, since we've only got the one. The menu itself does look kinda cool, I guess. The item menu is the one you'll spend the most time peeking at, but there's not much to see here yet. When you get food items, they'll pop up in this first page. The rest are for key items used for solving puzzles and the like. Basic, but functional. You know what doesn't look unassuming? How this game looks. Ooh boy. I'm not sure why SNK gave this project to Yume Kobo, but you can definitely feel it in how it looks. Yume Kobo's previous work was the Neo Geo shoot-'em-up Blazing Star, notable for its colorful and surreal pre-rendered visual style. You definitely see some of this bleed into Athena here. Her school is very dreamlike and off-putting. I couldn't call it bad CG, it looks too detailed and legitimately cool for that. But there's this uncanny valley of how simple and flat everything looks and what camera angles you get to see it all through. It's always off. Not off in the kind of amateurish way you might see in a real bad game like Ancient Roman. At the same time, I can't say this effect is clearly deliberate, but whatever, I kinda love it. Not to mention the music! I don't quite know how to describe it, but there's this weird mix of like quiet, soft, and comforting with a kind of eerie and haunting tone. It's hard to pin down, but the composition really is beautiful and totally sells me on the atmosphere of this place. It was right here, in this moment, experiencing this weird clash of aesthetic choices that the game genuinely did pull me right in. I didn't play Athena to see a bad game from this point. I just played it to see what the hell Athena is. Heading over to the only adjacent room, Athena gets shouted out to by a girl from the upper floor. This girl doesn't have a name beyond Library Council member, and she never appears again after the opening, so I just call her Library. Basically the only reason this conversation exists to do is to have her mention how heavy these books are. See you later, or never again, Library. There's an upper floor to the school, but not one we'll get to see yet. One stairway is covered by 2 students on cleaning duty, and the other's just been waxed. Athena has not yet mastered the power of levitation, and I guess she doesn't want to ruin the fine waxing job with her dirty shoes. NPCs in this game vary in how much of interest they really have to say. Sometimes they'll give you some pretty basic info, and sometimes they'll say one of the strangest things you've heard in your life. "I'm in a rush! Don't get in my way!" I'm sorry. Stick around here too long and the classrooms will lock up! They'll lock up! They'll lock up! I do not have an explanation for this boy. Talking to this guy outside the men's room will have him make reference to some mystery boy who wants to meet us, before dropping the name of one Kensu. Fascinating. Wonder who that could be. Technically our main destination is 1A, Athena's classroom, but there's no harm in walking around the other 2 first. Critically, we want to hit up 1C for this fellow over here whose name threatens to unmask my inability to judge names based on kanji. I know his surname is Ayanokoji, or Ayokoji at least, but his given name is like Fumimoto? Ayamato? I'm gonna assume Ayamato because that's just dumb enough of a joke to be it. How ironic that this is the one area in which the text parts of the game are harder to figure out than the spoken ones. He hands Athena a daifuku, a sakura rice cake with jam, and proceeds to say one of my favorite lines in the game. As I'm sure you know, that sakura daifuku is your favorite. Athena has no words. Just walk away, Athena. On our way down the hallway, Athena gets called out by her homeroom teacher, San no Miya. Seems like a normal guy, normal build, normal face, having a normal day. Making her way into 1A, we're treated to another in-engine cutscene. Striking up a short conversation, Rika says she couldn't find the tickets in here, but she remembers showing them to Athena in the girls' restroom, so she bolts off. Left here alone, Athena decides to check the extremely basic place she assumes Rika is too dumb to think of, her desk. Before we check Rika's desk, we need to talk about floor food. Like any good student, Athena must clean up all litter she sees on school grounds. If that litter happens to be, say, a soda can or a box of chocolates, then, hey, nobody's gonna criticize us for rewarding ourselves a little. As Athena approaches Rika's desk, her head begins to pound with some strange sensation as she reaches out.
チケット、リカのロッカーに。
学生確認。朝宮アデルナの学生を確認。朝宮アデルナの学生を確認。朝宮アデルナの学生を確認。朝宮アデルナの学生を確認。お目覚めかい朝宮アテナ。
あれ、何今の。
Shaken from this terrifying experience, Athena remembers what is most important. Those fucking Dino Aquarium tickets! Since none of Athena's psycho powers involve lockpicking or breaking into private property, we have no choice but to seek Rika out and get her key. Unfortunately, on arriving at the girl's restroom, it seems we just barely missed her. With no other options, we just have to go talk to Fumimaro? Yamato? The Sakura Daifuku guy again. I am the 28th heir of the Masataku ni Iori. I am so sorry, I have no idea how to read this name. Main shop, where we have been manufacturing traditional Japanese confectionery dating back to the Edo period. I see. Somehow, someway, this motherfucker is the one person in school who knows how we can save our game. True to his word, and to that description for our first ESP ability, saving is performed at these blue pillars of light that I guess are meant to represent handheld photo cameras. You might think this indicates some kind of limited save mechanic, like we could run out of film or something. That is not a thing. You can use these as many times as you want. Just don't fail the QTE or you'll give Athena a headache. And no, don't ask me why she doesn't just pick the camera up and use it wherever she wants. You think she's got pockets that big in this dress? There is one inevitability one must always face. No matter what road one travels, one will always, inevitably, find themselves crossing paths with Kensu. And you know, just so we know how much of a butt this guy is, they gave him his own exclusive Buttman theme. We've been loitering around here for a while, and it looks like the classrooms are finally about to lock up. We better find Rika and those tickets fast. Only one room left to look. The good news is, not only do we find Rika and the tickets in her locker over in 1A, but we also found a pendant that Athena gave to Rika for her birthday. Bad news is, the two of them are now locked inside the classroom. But hey, we just unlocked the power of psychometry earlier. Wonder if it'll come in handy here. Grabbing the classroom key from the desk and heading out, we reach the end of Chapter 1. Nanchatte. It's not Rika if she doesn't forget something else.
ロッカーに入れた覚え全然なかったんだけどな。本当にもう。教室にペンケース忘れちゃった。ペンケース？机の上に置きっぱできちゃった。取ってくるからさ、ここで待ってて。もうどうやったらあの状態で忘れてくるんだろう。先生、こんな重い本どこ持ってくんですか？
ああ、こっちだ。
すごかったね。落っこちてきた本みんなバラバラだよ。でもさ、アテナ、当たんなくてよかったね。違う、当たらなかったんじゃない。弾けたんだ。飛ばした。あの光、チケットも。一体何が。アテナ？アテナ？アテナったら。何ぼーっとしてんのよ。しっかりしてよ。リカに言われちゃった。じゃあ明日午前11時ディノアクアリウムの前で待ち合わせね。絶対に遅刻しないこと。分かってるって。絶対遅刻なんてしないから。本当かな。大丈夫だって。信用されてないな。先生、片付け終わりました。
そうか、帰っていいぞ。
はい。
覚醒したか。いや、まだこんなものではないはずだ。
Then why did you try to drop books on her head? The end of Chapter 1 is also the end of Disc 1. Yeah, they crammed that much CG onto that one disc. Let's move straight into Chapter 2. No real reason to stop.
Yaっぱりリカの絶対はもしもし。ごめんねアテナ。まあいろいろあってさ、今そっち向かってるとこ。アテナの分チケット渡してたよね。先行ってて、すぐかけるからね。ちょっと聞いてるアテナ。はいはい、聞いてるわよ。すぐ行くからね。それじゃね、バイバーイ。なんだかな、
間に合った。
走んなくてもいいじゃない。生きてる恐竜だ。
The next stage of Athena's adventure takes her to Wad's underwater dino aquarium. Our only company down here are a normal-looking couple, a perfectly normal child, and the reanimated bodies of ancient aquatic lizards. This elevator's pretty damn spacious. I guess the daily load expects a few more passengers than just the four of us. Doesn't take long for a fifth one to join in, though. Through this mysterious meeting, Athena's unlocked the power to see through this seemingly ordinary couple. In actuality, they are a couple with trust issues who also just kinda suck. This conversation gives us one critical piece of information about Athena's version of 2020 and how it mirrors our own. Somehow, someway, Jurassic Park is still culturally relevant. Importantly, using telepathy on the child has him refer to the ichthyosaur he's looking at as seeming to be in a bad mood. A dinosaur in a bad mood is not necessarily a good sign. Sure enough, nothing good can be going on down here. Stopped elevator, red light, and strange noises. From the kids' thoughts, it's more than one ichthyosaur that's looking pissed off. Athena faces her first real crisis. Trapped in the elevator and menaced by a dinosaur that's seemingly been angered by the mysterious clown, we are only seconds away from having the glass shattered, only cracked glass separating us from the water's extreme pressure. Our objective is... unclear. You can try and interact with everything a couple times. I honestly don't know what the trigger for progression here is, but it'll happen. Eventually. Jesus Christ, man. Even in this situation, even at this time.
エレベーターを動かすのは無理か。
来るよ。あの恐竜、また来る。
来るって壊れちまうよ、こんなエレベーター。
ショータイムだ
It would be extremely bad if we failed this QT multiple times because I hadn't set up Duckstation's run-ahead to make timing the button presses easier yet. Thankfully, at the most critical moment, Athena manages to properly time her button presses and envelop everyone in light. A mysterious, dark, caved-in room. Where did we end up, and how did we get here? Questions Athena must ask herself in this blessed moment of quiet. Doesn't take long after arriving here for Athena to notice something on the ground. How could Rika's pendant have ended up here, of all places? The only answer could be that she's in the aquarium already. We'd better find her. Fast. If you asked me what my favorite area in this game is, I wouldn't say the Dino Aquarium, but it'd be a close second. As you wander through this area, it'll slowly open up as the Worm rescue team clears out some of the blocked up paths. But right now, our main concern is finding Rika, and we'll find her relatively fast. Asking around, Athena ultimately gets led over to a passage through to an elevator hall, which is, ultimately, where she finds Rika, trapped inside with a member of aquarium staff. I kinda love this bit. Rika's little story of her trail of misfortunes, and that goofy little bow they do at the end. Sometimes the animation in this game's pretty cute. Because nothing's ever easy in this world, the power is out, and hitting the button on the outside of the elevator fails to get it open. Without power, they can't get out. Nobody's got a hand free to go turn the power on, so of course, it's all up to Athena. We read the minds of some of the Worm team, and it didn't paint a pretty picture of how the near future's looking for this place. Better hurry. And of course, who do we find on our way over there other than Kensu, my man? He'll be fine. Obviously, if we want to get at facility power, we need some employee access. And most of the employees here, even in the face of an extremely dire emergency, care enough about keeping their jobs that they're not ready to loosen their lips. Now, puzzles in this game tend to come in two forms, and this is the make you go through a really long back and forth form. Let me just explain as we zoom through it a bit. So, of course, we can't just turn on the power. To get to the control panel, you need to get into the Employees Only area. The Employees Only area is locked behind an electric lock, with no power. To turn on the door lock, we need to turn on a separate, door-use-only emergency power switch. Good, the power's on. Bad, we don't have the passcode. Find the guy who does know it, scan his brain for it, write it down on paper, something Athena is smart enough to do herself, handy, and get going. But gadzooks! We have power, and we have the passcode, but you see that little passkey slot? We don't have the passkey. Good news, the passkey is stored safely in a safe. Bad news, to open the safe, we need to enter another passcode at a security terminal on the other side of the facility, so we can then go to obtain a key to open the safe to get the card key from the safe. I guess it's true what they say about Athena. Of course, just before entering the employees-only area, Athena encounters a familiar face. That strange clown comes in to announce the game has only just started. I'm getting a bad feeling. The luxury to worry about what he meant by that is something Athena does not have right now. Stepping inside, Athena seems to recognize another familiar face. Sure enough, over in the corner of the room, the child from the elevator is nursing a dead dinosaur. The child doesn't respond to Athena's offer to help him. Instead, he continues cradling the dinosaur and explains the natural fate of all the dinosaurs in this aquarium. Artificial life doesn't live as long as natural life does here. It's got a deadline, and it's pretty tight. Finally choosing to accompany Athena, the boy gives us his name, Masato Kurihara. Athena, being Athena, starts calling him Masato-kun. From here on, Masato will tag along with us for a bit, just until we can find a way to get him out of here safely, which doesn't take too long after finding a fresh plate of floor donuts covered in glass shards. Nothing is beyond the point of edibility for Athena Asamiya, and there is no food she can't make room for somewhere on her person. Athena will do anything in the name of avoiding food waste. Fortunately, our way of getting Masato to safety happens to be right next to our main objective. We can get him out just safe and sound with this, industrial elevator. Are you sure that's safe, Athena? He tries to ask Athena to ride the elevator up with him, but she turns him down. After all, she's still got something to do down here. She's got a Rika to save.
ごめんね、一緒に行ってあげられなくて。いいよ、お姉ちゃんには大事な友達がいるんだから。ありがとう。じゃあ行くよ。気をつけてね。お姉ちゃん。何？超能力って知ってる？超能力？そう。普通の人にはない特殊な力。もしもそんな力を持っていたら、君はそれをどう使う？マサト君。何の話？また会おうね、アテナ。あ、リカ、予備電源探さないと。
Like she said, it's time to head down this conspicuously, precariously long walkway to the emergency power control.
大変。
Things are definitely not looking good. Now, we could just go turn on the power right now and deal with the immediate problem that we have immediate control over, but Athena's more concerned about making radio contact with Rika, so I guess we just have to spend a couple minutes learning another incredible life-changing psycho power. You know, I thought being an Esper was more about setting fire to people with your mind, not fixing your broken laptop by thinking really hard. After learning to further expand her brain just a bit more, Athena finally hits the switch she actually came up here to hit. Crisis averted. Or is it? Breathing a sigh of relief, Athena goes to check up on Rika, and everything sure looks fine on her end. But we can't forget what the clown said. The game has only just begun. Sure enough, it's this ugly bastard again. Evidently, he doesn't want to let us out of here without a fight. Not sure whether he's going for a game or performance metaphor anymore, though. After firing some energy balls at Athena, he zooms over to the opposite edge of the walkway. I want to include the sound effects here because it's one of the rare instances where the game has any to note, which means I can't use any clever editing tricks to hide how many awkward pauses this game has. Sorry. Whatever this clown wants, he's urging us over to him, which probably means crossing back over this bridge isn't going to be as simple for Athena as for the average aquarium employee. In fact, there's no probably about it. This is gonna be a pain. Literally. It's time to introduce emergencies. Athena doesn't have a combat system. You don't aim a gun like Resident Evil or shoot mind blasts like Galerians. What Athena has instead is a turn-based danger avoidance system? Pay attention to the clown's movements, figure out when he's going to move which crane, and run or duck in accordance. Might take a few tries, but it's not as tough as it might seem. Reach the end of the walkway, and we're in the clear. We may have gotten to the end of this challenge, but we haven't heard the end of the clown's ominous words. He claims to want to see Athena's powers awaken, to which Athena once again goes, "Powers? I don't know what you're talking about." Frankly, I have to agree with the evil clown on this one. That is kinda silly on her part. Annoyed with her clear lack of short-term memory, he blasts her with another barrage, forcing her to unlock her very first offensive psycho power. Taken aback by the force of Athena's shockwave, the clown breaks into triumphant laughter and congratulates her once again on awakening another one of her powers. As a reward, he... Oh. That's not good. First things first, and Rika always comes first. Checking up on Rika and the staff member via the monitor, he tells us that without power, the emergency drainage systems won't activate, and the entire facility will get crushed under the water pressure. There is a way we can make it out, though. It's just a shot in the dark, but if Athena can get at the emergency drainage switch, she can avert this whole disaster. You know the drill, Athena. Thankfully, this locked door is one that takes significantly less time to open. It just requires a bit of rummaging through someone else's personal space. Given how flipped over it is, I doubt they'll mind. Things inside the control room tense up a bit harder, though. WAD's very own homegrown Alexa chimes in to report that the building can no longer withstand the mounting water pressure. It's now or never, sink or swim. Hopefully we can learn how to swim within 3 minutes. Not a lot of time if you're a slow reader like I am, especially not if you, get confused a bit on the puzzle here. But eventually I realized I was overthinking it a bit. In the nick of time, I managed.
施設外壁の許容耐久量低下、水圧を支えきれません。至急緊急排水手続きを行い、すべての水門を開放してください。手続きってどうすればいいの？これね。これを打てば。
緊急排水開始。
It'd be really bad if Athena failed to teleport 8 times in a row because I still hadn't configured Run Ahead to improve her, mind psycho coordination. She landed it when it mattered, though. Starting to feel like T-Rexes get a bit of a raw deal in this game. Paired with the video game, Athena, Awakening from the Ordinary Life, got 3 separate adaptations into other mediums. Right now, the one we're interested in is the audio drama. If you don't know what these are, they're a pretty common piece of tie-in media for Japanese creative properties. They can be anything from side stories to brief snippets within and otherwise left untold by the main story, to just their own thing entirely. FF10's got one, Wild Arms 2nd Ignition and Advanced 3rd got ones, and of course, Athena's got one right here. If you heard any voice acting over in-game footage earlier, that was from this. Certain scenes in this line up, albeit only loosely, with scenes from the actual game. I bring it up now because the audio drama makes an interesting choice. It focuses entirely on Chapter 2, and condenses all of Chapter 1, minus the opening CG cutscenes, into a brief flashback segment on the first track.
理科のことだから机の中にでも置き忘れたんだろってそう思ったからだ。でも何よこれ。もう理科ったらどうしたらこんなに散らかせるの？机の中めちゃめちゃ。理科の机に触った時、頭の中に浮かんできた。
In addition, the way Athena is characterized here is pretty different from the game. You get more of a sense of her internality, her thoughts on the people around her, and the situations she's going through. My favorite example is right after that moment with Masato in the Dino Aquarium, where the mood Athena is in is just totally different.
そんな力を持っていたとしたら、お姉ちゃん、それをどう使う？
どう使うって、そんな。
また会おうね、お姉ちゃん。
マサト君。もしかして超能力とかそんなんだったりして。まさかね。
This version of the story also gives us a brief look, or, well, listen, to the actual moment of Athena giving Rika her pendant.
水浸しになった床の上で何か光ってた。拾ってみると、それは小さなペンダントだった。これまさか。リーカ、お誕生日おめでとう。プレゼント何がいいかと思ったんだけど、ちょっと古臭かったかな、ペンダントなんて。 んなことないって。ありがとうアテナ。ずっと大切にするからね、これ。間違いない。私がリカにあげたペンダントだ。来てたんだ、アクアリウムに。ここにいたんだ、リカ。
I enjoy how Athena finding Rika is depicted here.
どうしたらいいのよ。リカ。ついに幻聴まで聞こえてきちゃった。リカ。もしかして本物？よかった、やっと見つけた。本物だ、アテナ。
I'm also a fan of Kensu making an offhand mention about getting bitten by a dinosaur.
ごめん、私行かなくちゃならないの。
行くってこの先か？あかんあかんって。ええか？この先にはな、ごっつでこーって怖い恐竜がうようよってやな。うろうろしてるとパックに食われてまうんやど。実際ワイも食われかけて。
時間がないのよ。
待ちや。
The drama doesn't go beyond Chapter 2, but it's pretty neat for what it is. The back half of it is dedicated to showing the perspective of the rest of the cast, allowing us the deepest and most intimate look at the Dino Aquarium incident. The two highlights I'll note are Kensu mistaking a dinosaur for Athena and dying.
おお、もしかしてアテナか？アテナ！無事やったか？なんかずいぶんゴツゴツしてまんな。こんなに筋肉ついとったかの？それになんかえらいサメ肌。つかまるでトカゲ肌でんな。トカゲ肌？まさかあんさん。
And just this entire scene between Rika and Kensu. All of it.
これでよし。待っててね、アテナ。
おーい、柏崎。
誰よ。あら、あんた確か C ケンス、隣のクラスの留学生。
なんや、知っとったんかいな。いや、ワイも有名人やな。
そりゃあね。中国人のくせに変な大阪弁使ってるとか、ずーっと昼ご飯で肉まんしか食べてないとか、憲法の達人とか言ってんのに憲法を使ってるとこ誰も見たことないとか。
そんなことねえから。それよりやな、その磯でどこ行きよるんや。あんまり早いんで周りの連中が目丸うしとったで。
どこって？聞いて驚きなさいよ。今話題のディノアクアリウムよ。
出っ歯のアイスクリーム。なんやそれ。
ディノアクアリウム知らないの？最新の古代生物水族館。恐竜なんかがいっぱいいて、もうすごいって評判なのよ。
恐竜？ああ、わいそういうのあかんわ。でっかいの苦手やね。
何よ、だいたいね、あの可愛さがって。そうだ、こんなとこで話してる暇なんてなかったんだ。もうあんたのおかげでとんだ時間のロスだわ。こうしちゃいられない。待ってて、アテナ
も言っとるんか？なあ、柏崎！
Now, on to the next chapter.
続いて先日発生した一律水族館ディノアクアリウム崩壊事故についての速報です。館内の恐竜たちが突如一斉に暴れ出すという前代未聞の大事故により、同施設はほぼ壊滅状態に陥りました。これは先日同施設内で飼育されている十数匹の恐竜の暴動によって引き起こされたもので、人工湖の湖底という特殊な立地条件を救助作業を行い、結果として救助者職員合わせて50名を超える死傷者を出す。
リカ、おはよう。
関係者になぜこのような事態が起こったのかすでに WAD 極東支社および所轄のワーム部隊が調査を開始しましたが、未だに原因は不明。早期の原因解明が待たれるところです。 なおこの件の補償問題について WAE 極東支社の上杉慎太郎代表取締役の見解は全ての被害者に対し最大限の
We may have saved her by exploding a T-Rex, but things between Athena and the GF are looking grim. The atmosphere between Athena and Rika is tense, shrouded with questions neither girl has the answer to. The neon lights of the dark train tunnel flash by at a rapid pace, shimmering against the Shinkansen's sleek, futuristic metal frame. No matter how illuminated, it feels like the dark mysteries enshrouding the pair only close in ever closer and closer. Will the light at the end of this tunnel bring them any sort of safety? Any peace? Thankfully, until we've got our answer, we've got 6 whole train cars to explore, and only one of them is occupied by Kensu. His pal Igarashi gives him a verbal thrashing, and he hands Athena a meat bun as an apology for his past actions. Thanks, I guess. Onwards to the next one. Okay, sorry, I'll hit the button now. If that stop could send Athena flying, it could have hurt Rika much worse. We'd better double back. After lifting her friend back up onto her seat, Athena focuses her attention on a nearby monitor. A problem has been detected with the front car. Train staff, please proceed to the front car. We're not train staff, but we are a schoolgirl with psychic powers. Seems about as good a qualification to me. With Rika's mental state only worsening more and more under pressure, I guess Athena sees it as up to her to deal with things now, before her friend starts feeling any worse. Just after she picks up this bag of jelly snacks someone left on their seat. Waste not, want not. That's Athena's motto. Passing through the train, Athena feels a shift in the atmosphere. A presence. It's our new old friend, Masato, and this time he's got slightly less cryptic words to share. Athena, for her part, seems to finally be cottoning on to the whole psychic powers deal. What she's still confused about, though, is why she, of all people, has them, and what little Masato-kun here even is. Bit too naive at this point to say them meeting at the aquarium like that was pure coincidence. Masato, being who he is withholding these answers a bit longer, telling Athena to fully ascertain her powers first, and to never stray onto the wrong path. He's still waiting for us to meet in person. With that message, Masato quietly extracts himself from the premises, and so Athena presses on into the front of the train, and what she finds there is nothing. No driver, no staff, just an empty room with an open door. Peering at the bright red glowing display tells us there's a problem with the driving controls. Things are about to get a whole lot worse before they get better, aren't they? Speak of the devil and he will come. And in our case, the devil is an evil clown named Astraios. It's all finally starting to come back together as he gives mention to a now distant but familiar name. Tantalus. The train is moving again, but moving where and how fast now, that is a bit of a new mystery. Not satisfied with simply spooking her a bit, Astraios parts from Athena with words that leave her hair standing on end. If there's one thing Rika doesn't need more of in her life, it's this guy. As Athena dashes back through the train to reach Rika before Astraios can get to her, she finds the occupants of the previous cars collapsed. If we use our mind reading, we'll find their thoughts completely empty. Hey wait, Athena, why are you trying to read the mind of a passed out office lady? Time for our second emergency. This one's weird. With these two temporarily zombified, we'll have to keep our distance so as to avoid getting zombie attacked. Athena tries to call out to them to wake them up, but her words aren't reaching. After a few minutes of thought, she settles on the only idea she has that might work, blasting them off their feet with psycho energy. From now on, during emergency sequences, we'll see whatever psycho power we can currently attack with displayed next to Athena's energy meter. Input the button sequence with the required timing and she'll pull it off. Don't input it in time and it'll shift over to the next weakest power. Stay away from Kensu though. I guess she doesn't want to hurt him when he's already knocked out on the floor. Otherwise, this segment is simple. Dodge the guys and then blast them.
どういうつもりなの？
だいぶお疲れの様子だね、アテナ。
許せない。許さない。
いい顔だよ、アテナ。憎いか？あ？憎んでくれ。もっともっともっと。大きな感情の起伏は君の覚醒を促してくれる。 今日はこれでお別れだ。お嬢、花火はお好き？楽しかったぜ。また遊ぼうな。アテナ。アストライオス。どうなっちゃったの？一体。アテナ、私怖いよ。私怖いよ、アテナ。アテナ、アテナ、アテナ。
Contrary to what Astraios told us, he's still not done with us. This train is still careening forward, and there's no big, soft pillow cushion waiting for it at the end. If we don't stop it quick, we'll slam right into the curb up ahead at a speed fast enough to turn us into scrambled Psycho Soldier. With the path blocked by fire, and even without that, the door to the driver's controls locked behind a metal door, Athena's only left with one course of action. Time to crawl. The train's vibrations rumble beneath her. The bright lights of the tunnel flash by, faster than before. The world almost seems to shake under the pressure Athena feels. But she pushes on. And eventually, she makes it. Unfortunately, even once she's made it to the controls turn out to be out of control. The only way we can stop this train is by hitting the emergency brakes. As our luck would have it, every emergency switch Athena passes by is completely busted. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't she just learn the power to repair broken things? Couldn't she just use that to fix one? Well, yeah, but only this last one for some reason. I guess only that one is in a repairable state. As luck would have it, we're not out of the woods just yet. Astraios has one more plot to pad out the draw out Athena's power. He sent the train hurtling back towards the station, and with no conductor at the helm, we're set to go out in a blaze of glory. We've still got 3 stations to go before we hit the end of our line, though. If we hurry, we might be able to lay some tracks towards a new path. A railway to survival. With the emergency brakes completely disabled, our only chance is to detach from the head train car. And so begins Athena's third and final trek across an entire train. Can she make it? Can she reach the controls? Can she avoid accidentally stepping on the faces of unconscious bystanders? Oh wait, I guess we passed them all. There aren't actually any in here. Can she activate the release mechanism? Can Athena possibly solve an annoying number puzzle to rescue everyone from this crisis? The answer is yes. Yes, she can.
アクアリウムに今度は地下鉄か。派手にやってくれる。アストライオスなどに任せるから。おい、そこの連結部の損壊状況を念入りに頼むぞ。はい。死傷者はどうなっている？2両目から5両目に乗っていた乗客は軽傷者が数名いるものの全員無事です。6両目に取り残されていた少女も気を失っていただけで、とりあえず全員病院に収容しました。そうか。アサミヤ、アテナ、未知数のその力。この娘とアストライオスの取り合わせはいかにもまずい。このままいけばいつか取り返しのつかないことになる。カイドウはどこにいる？
呼んだか三宮。
待たせたな。いよいよ動いてもらうことになる。
了解だ。その旨通達は受けている。
愛想なしは相変わらずか。
撤収後に作戦会議。詳細はそこで聞く。
能動的に動かざるを得んか。できることなら避けたかったがな。
おい、人だ。人がいるぞ。女の子だ。気を失っているようだ。おい、大丈夫か？おい、ちょっと待て。どうした？この娘。ああ、
間違いない。エージェントの三宮さんが言ってた例の朝宮アテナ。そのまま見ていてくれ。隊長に報告を。
After awakening in a dark void, face to face with nothing but a lone metal door, Athena finds herself in a strange lab with the silhouette of a human body floating in a large green tube. The ghostly scientists within seem to wholly ignore her presence. If we look at this monitor over here, it tells us the date is currently August 7th, 2010. What's going on here? Did Athena go back in time? This chapter is a bit of a change of pace. It's the shortest in the game and takes place entirely in this one room. No gameplay to get in the way of Athena's raw creative vision here. If you look at this pair, you may recognize them. It's our old friends from the opening, Takaoki and Najimi. Whatever Takaoki was doing here, it seems like it went well for her. She exclaims that they were able to repair the fragmented DNA they extracted from the main body into its complete form. With this, they can now proceed with their long-delayed plan. She orders the creation of 2 AE series prototypes, Astraios and Pelops. After giving the order, though, her assistant pushes back. He's fine with regenerating dinosaurs, but people? That's something entirely different. Generating people is nothing like generating dinosaurs. Takaoki wants to recreate the ancient ancestors of mankind. She wants their special powers to be under WAD's ownership, and she wants her AI to have the arms and legs it asked her for. The nameless researcher's attempt to warn her that Tantalus is just a computer program, an imitation of ancient man, is cut short. Examining the collapsed scientist shows that the bullet was fatal. Takaoki and Najimi were directly complicit in cold-blooded murder. As we attempt to exit the lab, Athena hears a voice. A familiar one. It's Masato. Revealing himself as the previously unknown Pelops, he explains that he's projecting this video within Athena's mind, using the last of his power. This lab is housed within WAD's research facility, the IRF. ARF? It's spelled IRF, but pronounced ARF. Look, I won't say Takaoki had an eye for naming things. Either way, whatever Takaoki was trying here, it failed. She was unable to create the ancient ancestral superhumans she wanted. But Tantalus didn't mind, as long as it could get its biological parts.
数十万年前、この地球上には今とは異なる文明が栄えていたんだ。WAD 本社はシベリアでその古代文明の遺跡を発見した。そしてその遺跡の中には 体の古代人の素体があった。その素体を極東支社に持ち帰った高沖たち研究員は、古代人の DNA をもとに初期原始人工生命研究の一環としてコンピューター上でシミュレーションを始めたんだ。それがタンタロス、自己成長型ニューロコンピュータープログラム。初めはただそれだけの存在にしか過ぎなかった。しかし彼は研究者たちの予想をはるかに超えて無限に進化し、増殖を始めた。
タンタロスって人じゃなかったの？
そう、人じゃない。別のものだよ。やがて何百代もの進化と増殖を経て、強大な自我と自己防衛本能を身につけたタンタロスは WAD 極東支社を内側から支配し始めた。そしてタンタロスは1356世代にまで進化し、今や極東支社を完全に掌握している。
まさかそんな。
もちろん WAD 内部の最高機密さ。人間がコンピューターに操られるなんてあってはならない。おかしいだろ。はるか昔の古代人の意志が復活し、今やこの WAD を覆い尽くし、町も人も全て支配しているんだ。
Masato explains one final key piece in all of this, the units. In order for Tantalus to be a complete existence, it requires a unit. This is the original purpose Astraios and Pelops were created for. Like we saw in the opening, once Takaoki realized what she'd done, it was already too late. Tantalus sealed her away somewhere far from human eyes. Namiki met the same fate he granted to that researcher, but I don't think Masato really cares about him because he doesn't get a mention. Poor Namiki. Maybe in your next life you'll get upgraded from a Nami to a Hoshi. I guess with Masato having finally recounted all that stuff from the opening to Athena, it's finally relevant to our journey. Or not. As Athena cries out, "This has nothing to do with me! I am just a regular high school girl. I am a normal human being!" Of course, it's never that simple. Because of her psycho powers, Masato explains, Athena is being targeted by Tantalus. San no Miya has been spying on her for WAD, and Astraios is attempting to bring out her latent psycho powers to form her into the perfect... whatever she is to Tantalus. Masato, for his part, is growing weak. Like Wad's pet dinosaurs, he's got a limited time on this earth, and his powers are getting weaker. All he can do from here is trust in Athena. Everything goes white.
Athena?
ケンス君。
やったー！目覚ましよったで。どや、体の具合は？
大丈夫みたい。
そっか。よかった。心配したでほんま。
俺、看護婦さん呼んでくんよ。
お、頼むわ。よいせった。
ねえ、ケンス君。私、どのくらい眠ってた？
丸半日っちゅうとか？
そんなに？
えらい事故やったしやな。医者は何も心配いらへん言うとったけど。
リカは？
柏崎は軽い怪我だけですんだわ。もう退院しとる。
そうよかった
ああ。せや、何も心配あらへんがな。お前のナイトがここにおるんやさかい。
ありがとう。どうしたのケンス君？
どうもせえへんがな。
なんでそこ向いてるの？
何もあれへんってよ、ほんま。まあしかしあれやな、大事のって。あ、先生。
朝宮、気がついたか？
はい。
体は大丈夫か？
はい。
明日は学校へ出られるか？
大丈夫だと思います。
そうか。
あ、ワイもちょっとしたら学校へ行きますよって。なんや、あれだけかいな。けったくそ悪いの三宮のやつ。アテナどないした？
End of Disc 2. In 2006, SNK released a pair of anniversary Java phone games for Athena via their SNK World I platform, accessed on the popular iMode digital service. The first was the idol raising simulator, Athena on Stage. Presumably it worked something like Idol Master, which had released in arcades the previous year and been quite the hit. But I guess no one can say now that all we've got to learn about it from is this old promo music album booklet. The other, Athena Full Throttle, is a direct sequel to the original 1986 Athena arcade game. Like Athena on Stage, this game has been lost to time, but there's a bit more info to glean about it off here, thanks to this cute little comic I'm only going to bother translating a little bit of. Its main addition was the new secondary player character, Helena, Athena's dedicated maid. Helena is... yeah, there's no two ways about it. This bitch is gay. Every single aspect of this game and its promotional material is dedicated to reminding you how much of a capital L lesbian Helena is. This girl is having her moments, and we are all here to witness it. Bring her back, SNK. iMode phone game preservation has been one of the big topics of late. Lots of these lost to time. Some get officially re-released on Gmode archives, a few more get found by preservationist groups doing their best to hoover up and hack through old phones. But more and most are still lost out there. So if anyone, some way, somehow can manage to get these two games out there, I'd appreciate it. Don't really have much more to say beyond that. Oh, I did find these CGs from the game on the Spanish-language Athena fan page. You could call me a fan of this page. I wish the internet still looked like this. This kind of stuff was the peak.
18時で正門が閉まります。生徒の皆さんは速やかに下校してください。繰り返します。全校生徒へ連絡します。本日は18時で正門が閉まります。生徒の皆さんは速やかに下校してください。
各班展開完了。よし、各班は第一ラインまで前進。指示あるまで待機。生徒に見つかるな。了解。
先生、何かあったんですか？
放送聞いたな。いいから帰れ。
はーい。
こちらは配備完了した。
オペレーションパターンは？
立地条件からやはり B3 で行く。一般人を巻き込むことは絶対に許されん。それが
テストだな。
そういうことだ。
目標の現在地は？
今全艦をスキャニングさせている。間もなく6番をメインに回せ。
はっ。
いたぞ。17時10分ターゲットを捕捉。
よし、目標から目を離すな。ただし指示するまで現状のまま待機。我々の目的はあくまでも捕獲であることを忘れないでくれ。
了解した。指示を待つ。ターゲットアサミア・アテナ。
Oh boy, here we go. Chapter 5 is the longest in the game. This is for a variety of reasons that you will bear witness to. You might have guessed some of them by the sniper rifle pointed at Athena's head. Our first objective is to find Rika. Accomplishing this will not prove simple. She's not in the Shining bathroom, none of the 4 of them. She's not... You know what, fuck it. This part of this chapter was a nightmare to play, and it's even more of a nightmare to edit. Let's just get it over with. A ton of random, inconsequential bullshit happens for like 40 minutes while the game leaves you scratching your head because it's giving you zero clear direction about anything, and then eventually we find her. And then she runs away. Come on, man.
Rika は私のこと怖がってる。もうやだよ。なんで私ばっかり。何？何が起こったの
？This day is definitely not going as ordinarily as Athena wanted, or as cleanly as Sanamiya or Kaido wanted, for that matter. Capturing Athena quietly and without being noticed was on their itinerary, not detonating school property. There's no doubt about it, it's that son of a bitch again. Astraios wastes no time in laying down the rules of today's game, or rather, his present. There's more explosives where that came from, and the next one is going to be much bigger. Directing her over to the first science classroom, Athena dashes off to her first job in her newly appointed role as the world's one and only Psycho Bomb Squad. Astraios was just waiting to lay down the real rules of the game, though. Before Athena can open the door, he warns her that opening that door is the trigger for the bomb itself. If we want to turn it off, we have to head to the adjacent classroom and access the teacher's terminal. But the terminal relies on a disk, which the previous segment provided hints for. Sorry for skipping over it, but it was for the sake of my own sanity. With the hints Athena got during her traversal of the school, we can easily find all 3 discs when the time comes. But by laws of the game, Athena's game, not Astraios', we can only get the blue one right now. While Athena's rooting around in her friend's locker, she takes care to grab the textbooks she left behind. Rika truly can never not forget something extremely critical. The real pain begins when you actually insert the disc. Every disc is a different high school level problem you have to solve. I'm gonna be honest here. For various reasons in my life, I did not actually attend high school. So I don't know if it's because I read the in-game hints incorrectly or what, but these were like a psycho ball to the gut for me. First one at least doesn't seem too bad if you know enough of what the game is asking you here to answer it. Things take a turn for the tense right after you solve it, though. Turns out solving that first puzzle activated the 15-minute timer on the bomb. Better hurry up, Athena. Second puzzle is my favorite! Okay, this one is probably easy if you've actually been consistently writing out kanji by hand at any point in your life. Been slacking a bit, so I had to pull up good old G-Show. Not the best resource for everything, but it's a quick way to look up stroke order. Okay, come, some plain old rice. Yep. Ah, cool, always a classic. I like this one. Maybe you could even say I love it. Whatever my feeling is, you can be sure it's positive. Say it ain't so, man. You could call this kanji very becoming of Athena. Okay, minigame's over. You're released from my amateur bilingual kanji puns. Athena's final trial tests her ability at abstract math. So you can be sure this one was like a mathematical kick to my solar plexus. I don't know this shit. Cubism complex? Nah, man, not into that shit. I need them round. If it's not a nice perfect circle, you can miss me with that. What? You die? Oh, I guess not. Okay, good. Survived you. Yeah, man, I always am. It took a lot of high school level knowledge I didn't possess, but we were able to pass Astraios' dastardly game. He's still got more in store, though. He invites Athena up to the roof. We get a cut over to San no Miya. Seems like he was able to get everyone else out in time. Oh, the music? Yeah, that's just what I had to listen to for around 40 minutes. Not my favorite track. Did I mention I hate this chapter? As Astraios claims, Athena's job's not over yet. There's more bomb left. Where could it be? Before he explains that, Astraios decides it's finally time to lay out why he's been so fixated on drawing out Athena's powers. Though none of it's new information, it's all what Masato said. Everything. His attacks, Athena's quick release from the hospital, the reason Masato was allowed to contact us at all, was for the purpose of drawing out Athena's latent powers and tempering her into the perfect specimen for Tantalus. And now Astraios is going to finish fulfilling his role as a living bomb. Holy shit! If Athena doesn't defeat him now, he's gonna blow this whole place to hell. What can she do? We need something strong to beat this guy. Like, With her signature move unlocked, it's time for Athena's first proper mano-a-mano, her first 1v1. You can try talking him down, but come on, she's a king of fighters, not a king of negotiators. After hitting him with a few volleys, Athena will try to talk him down one more time. But for some reason, I don't think this guy is buying it. In fact, I think it made him madder. Mad enough to fly into the air and throw a fucking spirit bomb. Athena's right. We can't fight like this. We need to get our energy back up. There's only one way we can do that. By chomping down a big ol' Sakura Daifuku. I guess it really is Athena's favorite meal. After thinking wrong for 1 millisecond and experiencing a mild headache, Athena is able to harness the energy of her full stomach and, once and for all, free Astraios from this mortal coil.
アストライオス、ターゲット、共にロスト。
三宮を呼べ。
今の爆発は何だ？まさか
アストライオスが失敗した。
何？現在目標は？
爆発に巻き込まれたようだが、動体反応がある。まだ生きている。
今すぐ仕掛けろ。ダメージから回復する時間を与えるな。
殺してしまうぞ。捕獲作戦ではなかったのか。
現行の兵器で奴を殺すことはできん。能力を消耗させろ。疲弊したところを捉える。それが最小策だ。舐めてかかるなよ。こっちがやられるぞ。了解した。
The explosion dropped Athena down into the women's room. Lying in the rubble, we overhear some worm soldiers relaying their orders to each other. As of now, Athena is to be shot on sight. It's clear enough to her now that they aren't here conducting a rescue operation. And these guys didn't just come armed with guns. We're gonna have to put those psycho balls to use very, very soon. Fire! Fire, psycho soldier! This chapter's not about to let up. As soon as Athena escapes from those worm troops, she's already being pitted directly against one of their attack robots. No escape from this one. This fight is really clunky and annoying. You have to crouch down behind one of the piles of rubble in the back, or it'll blast you with its laser, which does a hell of a lot of damage. Thankfully, you can eat as much as you want from the item menu each turn. Now we know why Athena was collecting discarded food like a hungry raccoon. Do what you can to position yourself on the mech's side, and you should be able to hit its weak point and deflect its attack. Fail, and let's just say this is where I got my first and only game over. Still, with a massive stockpile of food, you're not likely to get stuck here at least. The war of attrition is easy to win when all you need is a box of chocolates. A brief flash over to Rika at the school entrance. Seems she's feeling pretty bad about how she treated her best friend.
現在テロリストは校舎特別棟に立てこもっている模様。校内関係者諸君は誘導に従い速やかに退去しなさい。そこグズグズするな。
テロリストの登場か。局所通り。いかにも街道らしいオペレーションだ。おい誰か。
三宮先生。
校舎内の確認はやっているんだろうな。
そのはずですが。
一個招待動員で各教室を回れ。
了解。
生徒がまだ残っているんだぞ。
避難は優先的にさせている。
当たり前だ。状況は
一番機から応答がない。確認中だがおそらく予
想以上だな。
下のフロアへ逃げ込んだと推測される。3班7班を2階へ回す。
分かった。いいか、くどいようだが侮るな。ここまでやった以上必ず浅宮アテナを捕獲しろ。
Athena really is just having one hell of a bad day. At least whoever's in charge of the broadcasting room left behind some tea, chips, and a photo camera. The three essentials for any psycho soldier to survive a dangerous operation. For some reason, the progression flag here is tied to investigating this broken control panel. So if you don't do that, you'll get left wandering around aimlessly for a bit. Here's a song I like. This is all you get to hear of it in-game. Oh boy, this shit again. Here it is, everyone. The second to last fight in the game. With how sturdy WAD builds these robots, you'd think they'd remember to apply textures before sending them out in the field. Same as the last fight, just try to get on its side, and if it lands too much damage, stop for a quick snack break. Keep an eye out for the killer Roombas while you're at it. It seems like Athena is totally cornered. But suddenly, like a flash of lightning, her knight in shining armor, Kensu, arrives. This is your big chance, Kensu. Don't let us down! Gallantly striding in to protect the love of his life, he does what any good hero would do, and dumps Athena down a trash chute. Oh.
朝宮アテナはまだ力を出し切ってはいない。最大火力で叩け。一斉射撃だ。砲撃開始。
何？あれがテロリストなわけ？
ほら、前に出ちゃいかん。隊長、中心がもう持ちません。
構わん、続けろ。
フィールド検索。
撃ち方やめ。
力を使い果たしたようだ。3班4班、目標捕獲変更しろ。
泣いているのか。
リカ、来ちゃダメ。
隊長、フィールドの通知が。
いいか、撃つな。聞こえんのか。射撃中止だ。貴様、あれほど一般人を巻き込むなと。
甘いぞ三宮。任務が最優先。多少の犠牲は仕方ない。現場の指揮権は俺が掌握する。ついでターゲットに対する攻撃を再開。目標が完全に力を失った時点でこれを捕獲。取って作戦終了とする。
隊長。
うん。
リカ、どうしてこんなことに。
End of Chapter 5. The journey is almost over. Are you ready to awaken?
Maさかこんな死なせる必要などどこにもなかった。冗談じゃない。俺はこんなことのために派遣されたんじゃないんだ。
報告します。目標を完全に見失いました。追尾不能です。朝宮アテナは強力な精神波を放出した後、この場から完全に消失しました。
そうか、消えたか。火あるかい。
いえ、自分はやりませんので。
そうか、
どういたしますか。
分かってるよ。朝宮アテナの行き先は。
では直ちに追撃部隊を編成します。三宮さん、三宮さん。
Athena awakens in a strange locker room, dazed and incoherent with fear and rage. A familiar voice arrives to calm her down. He introduces himself by his code name, Pelops. But we know his real name. He'll always be Masato to us. He explains that in Athena's anger, her unconscious mind warped her to the ARF. We're already right in Tantalus's home base. The mad neurocomputer's not far. Athena asks why she has to be the one to defeat Tantalus, but, not much of a mystery, is it? If I was Athena, I'd be raring to go, honestly. Let's kill this asshole. Masato lays it out nice and clear. Running is simple, but it doesn't solve the fundamental problem of people following the orders of a killer AI for, reasons? They don't actually explain why. And as long as that AI is alive, more people will die. More people like Rika. In the end, Athena takes Masato's speech to heart here. She can't spend the rest of her life running. It's time to go fry some CPUs. Descending deeper into the ARF, who else do we find but Kensu? Since he got wrapped up in Athena's teleportation, and all the staff who used to work here have long since been reassigned elsewhere, it's just the two of us. He hands us over some last-minute provisions, so he's good in my book. But he can't hide his real thoughts from us. You never change, Kensu. There's various items to grab around the ARF in order to progress. As far as I can tell, though, these video discs are completely useless. Tried looking it up to see if there's anywhere you use it, but I could not get an answer, and I did not find any places or ways of using them myself. Investigating the computer down at the bottom end of this table brings up a display. Shown on it is all of Athena's biological information. Creepy. But wait, they've got a listing for Kensu, too! Sure enough, this computer is for listing information on people who possess ancient DNA, and by extension, psycho powers. Athena may show her surprise, but if you've been paying attention, this is no surprise. Or if you've, played any King of Fighters game. Well, prior to 15. Or Psycho Soldier. That's right, that's Kensu's name up there with 0 points. It all comes back to Kensu, baby. Computer also tells us about how San no Miya was dispatched to monitor the two, but that's shit we already knew. It's only new for our heroes here. More importantly, looking out this window into the adjacent room, they notice a woman locked in a pod of some kind. Who could that be? Is she even alive? The room across the hall is too dark to do anything other than grab a key from, so I guess investigating how to reach her is our only option. Before we can get our answer, though, Kensu decides to go check out this one open door at the end of the hall, urging Athena to stay behind until he can confirm its safety. The door just ends up locking behind him and separating the two, though. Once again, Athena is left on her own. Opening up to another genetic experiment lab lined with green tubes, Athena finds a door at the end, locked behind 3 separate passcodes and a keycard lock. Even if we knew the codes, we're not getting through that door without the key. In the end, figuring out what's up with that lady in the pod really is our one and only option. Thankfully, while she's stuck behind 2 doors with timed locks, relying on different key types, with some hasty back and forth, we can use these 2 computers to overwrite this MO disk we picked up and get through them both. This is the craziest leg day Athena's ever gonna have. Entering the chamber, Athena recognizes the pod as a WAD cold sleep chamber, like they showed on the news, and the occupant. It's Takaoki! She takes full responsibility for unleashing Tantalus and Strios upon the world, and urges Athena to look at some conveniently placed monitors, where she displays the evolution of Tantalus, his beginnings as a small info computer, and his current stage as a behemoth of technology and gene experimentation. I guess this is where those video discs are being used. Maybe? I don't know. I think this is also, the 3rd time they exposit about what Tantalus is and what its goals are. Gonna be honest, didn't really need this one. Maybe if you needed clarification that the problem with manufactured humans like Astrios and Masato is that their short lifespans make them ineffective parts. Hey, wait, this reenactment of Namiki getting gunned down isn't even remotely the same room. What's going on here? We do get to see the aftermath of that scene, though. A mysterious blonde man approaches Takaoki with a message from Tantalus. We will eliminate all who obstruct our research in the same manner you once did. That's kind of scary, I guess, but also we kind of already knew this. You're not giving us very startling revelations here, Takaoki. Athena absolves Takaoki of her sins, but things don't get much better from there. Tantalus has noticed us, and I guess it decided to punish Takaoki for having this little chat. For some reason? I'm not actually sure what Tantalus is trying to do here. Guess he's just in a bad mood suddenly. Takaoki urges Athena to run, but with her cryopod getting fucked up, Athena can't bring herself to leave her to die. Time to manually correct it with a, valve puzzle? I feel like they may have run out of ideas at some point. You might have seen one like this before. Hit the right valves in the right order to raise the number to exactly 100, no lower, no higher, kind of low-tier Resident Evil puzzle. I kinda just lucky guessed my way through this one. As thanks for saving her, Takaoki, hands Athena her card key? How? Is there a slot? Is there a little robo-arm she controls that she handed it to her with? How did this happen? What WAD future tech allowed her to do this?
やあ、高沖。久しぶりだね。
そう。あなたが彼女をこの部屋に連れてきた。
僕にはもうこんなことしかできないからね。
あなたには本当にすまないと思っているわ。
違うよ、高沖。道具である僕には自我も意識も必要ない。でもあなたは僕にその2つを残してくれた。マサトという名も与えてくれた。最後に人間らしいことがしたかったんだ。結局僕たちはこんな風にしか生きられなかったから。
そうだったわね。
アテナを助けに行くよ。もう二度と会えないね、僕たち。
多分ね。マサト、償う術はもう私にはないの。だから死ぬまでこの低温の牢獄で眠り続けるつもり。全てを放棄しての終身刑が私の精一杯なの。卑怯かも。
And with that, there's nothing standing in the way between us and Tantalus. The decisive battle is now. Slam down those passcodes, slam in that keycard, and we're in, baby. Lucky Athena, someone left one last can of tea just outside the final boss arena. I don't know how long that tea's been there. I don't know if it would taste very good by this point, but it's a food item, and it's on the floor, and Athena will not abide by leaving things in such a sorry state as that. You're coming with us, whether you like it or not, T-Can.
アザミア・アテナ、生まれながらの能力者。我々は君をユニットとして取り込むことで、ようやく完璧な存在になれる。本来は君の覚醒を持ち、地下の地を隠するつもりだった。 かし君の能力は完全に我々の計算を超えていた。
無論その程度のレギュラーは予測のうち。
誤差は 0.8% になり、その修正もすでに完了している。セーフティー解除、戦闘モードに移行。
This final fight will be the toughest challenge we've faced. Is what I'd say if its attacks were not comically easy to dodge. Each monitor only shoots in its assigned lane, so just stand to the side. The hardest part is that the level 2 Psycho Ball can't hit the upper monitors for some reason. Just wait a sec until you can use a level 1 attack instead, and it'll be no problem. Blast the screens and Tantalus moves into phase 2, sending down these platforms with miniguns. Just blast them and they go down in one shot, leaving Athena with a convenient ride up to the floor above. From here, it's just a matter of blasting down the remaining 2 monitors on each side. Kids stuff. As Tantalus shifts into its final attack phase, there's almost some cause for alarm as the room trembles and throws Athena down off the 2nd floor. She's unable to shift into a defensive position in time before Tantalus can fire its cannon. But you know what I said before, right? It all comes back to Kensu. Here it comes. The final Psycho Ball.
「まだだ、アテナ。まだ終わっていない。マサト君、今から僕がタンタロスの心臓部への道を開く。それを壊さない限り、奴は何度でも蘇る。」僕には時間がない。急いで、アテナ。このクリスタルの輝きこそが初の生命線。なぜば奴は力の源を失う。アテナ、早く急いで、アテナ。
Technically, we've still got this one last phase to go, but it's not really much of a fight. Just blast the 4 corners and the game's over. I've taken the liberty of lowering the audio for you here. This shit is loud.
Ah!
補助記憶装置沈黙。台車制御機能停止。情報処理能力 72% 低下。
マサト君、アテナ、やっと会えた。死ぬ前にようやくアテナに。ダメよ、マサト君、死んじゃダメ。これが僕の運命なんだ。作られし者にはこれが一番ふさわしい。でも君は違う。君の力には必ず意味がある。マサト君、強い思いが呼ぶ奇跡。それはきっと傷つけるだけじゃなくて、優しい、温かいさよなら、マサト君、マサト君、マサト君、マサト君。
The battle is won, but as San no Miya approaches, he has one last request of Athena. With Tantalus dead, Wad no longer has a reason to target her. He, for his part, carried Rika here out of concern for her quickly waning health, with hope that Athena may be able to use her powers to save her. Masato's words ring in Athena's mind. Her powers do not just exist to cause harm. At this vital moment, Athena unlocks her final, most crucial power: the power to heal.
もう10分で始業式始まってまうで。
理科の遅刻癖はいつものことじゃない。もうちょっと待とうよ。
せやな。そういや、三宮の話聞いたか？
三宮先生の？
学校辞めてしもたんやと。あれっきり姿くらましとるようやで。
そっか。一言俺言いたかったんだけど。ねえ、ケンス君。マサト君がね、最後に言ってたの。私の力には意味があるって。傷つけるための力じゃない、強い思いが呼ぶ奇跡だって。
しいことはよう分かれへんけど、そもそも力に善悪なんてあれへんねや。それは使う人間の方にあるもんで、いやこれはワイの憲法の師匠の受け売りなんやけどな。つまりなんや。
ありがとう。
アテナ、な
リカ、遅いよリカ、心配しちゃった。リカ、私リカにちゃんと謝ろうと。ストップ。その前に私から一言。アテナ、助けてくれてどうもありがとう。
それでええんちゃうかな。
ありがとう、本当に。
金なってもうた。
So now you know the story. The tale of Athena's origins. Except not really, because this is an alternate reality and none of these events ever get referenced again. There is also one last note the game leaves us on. I figure I'll play that before the credits.
Doctor の身柄を押さえました。状態は良好です。
よろしい。すぐに回収してくれ。ただし、ドクター高沖の個人的な記憶と、それに伴う人間的な感情は全て消去するように。
了解いたしました。回収終了後、直ちに帰還。ドクター高沖のボディの処置に入ります。
頼む。
死者など所詮実験場にしか過ぎない。全てはこれからだよ。アサニア・アテナのデータと中尾清の知識か。これさえあれば。
Yeah, no sequels. This never comes up again. So, a few closing notes. There is a novel adaptation of this. I didn't read it. There's also a TV drama. Only 6 episodes of it are online. We're not talking about that. This video is already too long. Instead, let's talk about 3 lessons we've learned from the story of Athena awakening from the ordinary life. Lesson 1. Never plug the DNA of an ancient dead guy into a computer. They will only use it for evil. Lesson 2. Never open a seaside amusement park that's only guaranteed a measure of profitability during the period of time the other seaside amusement park is closed. Lesson 3. The band of fighters is still out there somewhere, waiting. This game actually closes with a song called Wannabe by the band Misty Eyes. I don't really think it fits Athena though, so for your listening pleasure, I have replaced it with the song Kizu Darake no Blue Moon. Enjoy.